So welcome to my presentation on integrated disease management in potato. The crop is very much important for Northeast India, and it is mainly cultivated in almost all the northeastern states, starting from Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland and Tripura. It comprises around 9.3% area in the region around the year in all the seasons. The crop is generally sown in this region in three different parts of the year, that is summer, autumn and winter. In the summer, the crop is sown during February, March or July, August. Then in autumn, the September to December, and winter early November to January and February. For this crop, the climatic condition is very important. So in northeastern India, the optimum temperatures actually we used to attain around 15 to 25 degrees centigrade, which is favorable for the cultivation of this crop, that is potato. For this crop, night temperature plays a crucial role because it plays an important role at the time of tuberization, as because the tuber initiation is reduced at night temperature above 20 degrees centigrade. This crop required sandy loam soil, which is considered to be ideal for the cultivation of this crop. And this crop required a soil pH of 5.5 to 6.5. For land preparation, we should be very careful because this crop is required a fine till soil, and it helps in easy placement of the tuber at the time of sowing. Per hectare, around 3 to 3.5 ton of seed tubers is required. Especially well sprouted 30 to 40 gram tubers are generally recommended for cultivation of this tuber crop, that is potato. And generally in Northeast India, the crop is shown in a spacing of 60 by 20 centimeters. 60 centimeter means row to row, and 20 centimeter means the distance between tuber to tubers. Few varieties has been recommended by the scientific institutes for cultivation in the Northeast India. These are Kufri Jyoti, Kufri Megha, Kufri Himalini, Kufri Girdhari, Kufri Khasigaro, Kufri Nobin, Kufri Giriraj and Kufri Kacham. Before sowing the tubers for cultivation in the main field, the tuber should be treated with two things. Number one is bioformulation, and number two is biofertilizers. For that, we have to make a shallow pit around 2.5 meter by 2.5 meter and 20 centimeter land width and depth. And in this pit, we have to put a plastic lining so that it can hold the water in the pit. And in that pit, we have to pour around 100 liter of water. And in 100 liter of water, we have to add 1 liter of bioformulation and 1 liter of your biofertilizers. After pouring both biofertilizers and biopesticides, we have to mix it very well. And in that mixture, we have to put 100 kg of tuber, and we should wait for 1 hour. After 1 hour, we should take out the shock tuber from the pit and allow it to dry in the shade at least for 1 hour. And after 1 hour of the shade drying, the tubers are ready to sow in the main field, either in rows or in holes. As already I said, we have to add two things. One is bioformulation and another is biofertilizer. Bioformulation here we used to use for cultivation of potato, that is tricho and beer. Tricho is a trichoderma based bioformulation which has the ability to suppress the disease and enhances the plant growth. On the other hand, beer is a Beauveria bassiana based bioformulation which has been prepared with the native isolates of this anthropopathogenic fungus. It suppresses the attack of Lepidoptera pest, and it also helps the plant growth promotions. Then for potato tuber cultivation, we have to use biofertilizer, that is CAU bioenhancer, which is a consortial formulations of 5 different organisms which has the ability of nitrogen fixing, potato phosphorus and zinc solubilizer. Then it also have the ability to produce indole acetic acid, and it can also solubilize the potato and make it available for the growth and development of the plant. And this type of bioformulations, either tricho, bead and CEO bioenhancer, we can also apply in the field by preparing enriched compost or vermicompost, or we can use by treating the tubers before application in the main field. And when problem arises in the main field, we can combine this formulation and we can use as a foliar. For application of bioformulation like biopesticides and biofertilizer, the time and dose of application is very important. This type of bioformulations you can apply at the time of cultivation of the potato by tuber treatment as well as by foliar application. For that we have to dissolve 10 ml of bioformulation in 1 liter of water, and you can use it for tuber treatment as well as foliar application. You can prepare enriched compost. For that you have to take 1 liter of solution. You can mix with 1000 kg of vermicompost. After thoroughly mixing, you have to incubate it by making heap in the main field itself, and that heap should be covered with gunny bag or say newspaper. And at an interval of 1 day you have to sprinkle water and you have to remix it. Again you make a heap, and then again you cover it and wait for 3 to 4 days. After 3 to 4 days, 1000 kg of enriched compost can be mixed with 10,000 kg of enriched compost. And now question arises, when you have to apply this type of bioformulation. The time is very important. At the time of foliar application, please be remember you should apply after the setting of sun, say after 2:30 or 3 p.m. in the northeast area. So for foliar application, you can repeat the foliar application for thrice at an interval of 15 to 21 days. And for application of the enriched compost, you can do it by broadcasting in the main field at least 3 to 4 days prior to the sowing of your crop. And you may apply say 100 gram of enriched compost per peat at the time of sowing. Even you can apply this enriched compost in the farm. So beside that, you can do some organic fertilizations, like you can apply FYM compost or enriched compost, vermicompost, or in combination. But please try to remember you have to apply at least 5 ton per hectare. And another organic fertilizer, that is rock phosphate, you can apply at the rate of 400 kg per hectare, and neem cake at the rate of 8 to 10 kg per hectare. For sowing of the treated tuber seeds, always please try to remember you have to follow the spacing of 60 by 20, 60 centimeter between row to row and 20 centimeter between say tuber to tubers. And before sowing your crop, that is potato tubers, if you want to sow it in peats, the peat should be filled up with at least a handful of or 100 gram of enriched compost. After that you should mix it with the soil particles, and then you can put your tubers. After putting your tubers, you have to cover that hole. Regarding intercultural operation, you have to be very careful at the time of doing this activity, because you have to do the weeding regularly. Okay, but at the time of doing weeding, you have to be very careful so that your tubers or the plantlets or say the stems or the roots should not be damaged. You should do the earthing up at least up to a height of 15 to 25 centimeter high. And potato is a water loving crop, so they require a huge amount of water, that is 350 to 355 millimeter of water. But you should avoid the application of excess amount of water. Many times in the field, some crops they used to show say wilting symptom. So if this wilt is caused by bacteria, then please stop the irrigation in the main field immediately. Otherwise, if the wilt is caused by bacterial pathogen and that bacterial pathogen is surviving there, then if you do this irrigation at that time, then that irrigation water will spread the disease from one area to another area. But at the time of moisture stress conditions, single irrigation at critical tuber initiation is very important. You have to do it, otherwise it will hamper at the time of your tuberizations. Many a times in the main field, some disease may occur. So a critical inspection should be done. At the time of that critical inspection, if any disease plant has been observed, that should be rocked out at immediate actions. So generally that critical inspection should be done at 3 stages, that is 55 days after sowing, 65 days after sowing or planting, and 75 days after sowing or planting of the vegetative growth. Many a times the foliar plant pods, the leaf stems, may get infected with number of diseases like say early blight or the lead blight. So this type of plant pod should be removed immediately from the main field by a practice that is called halm cutting. The crop potato faces number of major diseases, and diseases are either caused by your fungal organisms or say bacterial organisms. Many a times some minor viral pathogen also causes some minor diseases in this crop. So among the major diseases of potato, lead blight is number 1, which is caused by Phytophthora infestans, and this organism it created havoc in Ireland, and then because of that many people died. Another important disease of this crop is early blight of potato, which is caused by Alternaria species. It is also considered as the second most important disease of this crop. In the potato field, so if you visit in the early morning, and if you have seen some leaves are showing some lightening symptoms, so directly you please observe the lower surface of the leaves. If in the lower surface of the leaves, if you are seeing some whitish mycelial growth, then you can sure that this disease is actually lead blight of potato. And this disease can be spread very easily from this part with the help of wind, rains, or the animals, or the human being from one area to another area. So that was the symptom of leaf. But this same disease may occur on the stems. If it occur on the stems and the twigs, it will show this type of say necrosis or the dying of the that is infected plant parts as well as twigs. Beside the lead blight of potato and early blight of potato, another important disease is that is wilt of potato caused by one bacteria, that is Ralstonia solanaceae. This pathogen generally causes disease from say initial stage to final stage. More prominently we can see the symptom of wilting in active vegetative stage. Due to the infection of this pathogen, the plant suddenly shows wilting from top to bottom, the whole part. And that this disease can be easily identified by a simple technique that is called ooze test. For that you have to uproot the plant, you give a slanting cut and put in say clean water and wait for say 2 to 3 minutes without disturbing it. If after 2 to 3 minutes from the cut end, if bacterial ooze has been seen to come out and in that water, then you should say that disease is actually caused by bacterial pathogen, that is Ralstonia solanaceae. If such things happen, then immediately we have to stop the irrigation, otherwise it will spread to the whole field. Another important disease caused by one fungus, that is Rhizoctonia sonali. It generally causes some lesion on the stems. It also causes some curky growth on the tubers. This organism even can survive in the stories, and this organism once it attacks, it can cause total destruction of whole tubers in the main field as well as in the stories. Besides that, this crop is also infected by many say sucking pests like aphid, whitefly, like that. And these actually aphid, whitefly, they transmit the disease from viral disease, especially from one area to another area, from infected plant to healthy plant. And because of this insect vectors, many a times in our say cultivated crop, we used to face say a potato leaf roll disease, then curling disease, then and many other diseases. For organic cultivation of this crop, that is potato, we have developed one organic module, and these modules components are as follows. First of all, we have to use disease-free healthy tubers. Say we can take the variety Kufri Jyoti and Kufri Himalini plus other recommended variety. Then we have to apply well decomposed FYM at the rate of say 5 to 10 ton per hectare. Then our tuber should be treated with say biofertilizer and bioformulation. For bioformulation, we used to recommend Trico at the rate of 10 ml per liter per kg of tuber, along with CAU bioenhancer at the rate of 10 ml per liter. Then followed by soil application of trichoderma enriched compost at the rate of 10 ml per liter at 30 days after sowing, plus CAU bioenhancer at the rate of 10 ml per liter. Followed by 3 foliar spray with Trico based bioformulation, that is at the rate of 10 ml per liter, and Umbir at the rate of 10 ml per liter at 15 days interval, or after appearance of the incidence of the pest as well as diseases. Besides that, we can install your some of the yellow sticky trap which can actually help in monitoring the presence of different type of insect pest in the cultivated area. For that, you can use 4 trap per 250 meter squares. Plus, you can install 5 trichocard per hectares. Generally, our farmers, they used to follow locally available potato tubers or the cut tubers, which actually may be infected with numbers of pathogens. Ultimately, in the main field, they are facing a lot of problems. They also apply your cow dung or the farmyard manures, and they also use the indigenous traditional knowledge to get rid of the attack of the insect pest as well as some diseases. But if they follow these organic modules, okay, they will be highly benefited as compared to the traditional practice they are following. Already I have said that the harm cutting should be done at the time of say 65 to 70 days of crop. At this stage, if crop plant parts, say leaf, stems, etc., are found to be infected with either lead blight or say your early blight or other organism, the infected plant part should be cut and burnt it down as soon as possible. Okay, and we have to leave the crop in the main field for another 15 to 20 days. So in the meantime, whole the tubers that are present in the underground of the soil, they become mature, and ultimately after say 90 or the 100 days we can harvest the crop. Here I am showing 2 fields. This is for the farmer's practice and this is for your organic module, which has been recommended by us. In case of farmer's practice, the plants were found to be infected with lead blight, early blight as well as wilt. That's why the populations were reduced drastically. But in case of farmer's practice, there was a good growth without any infestation of lead blight, early blight as well as wilt. And we can see a beautiful say growth with the huge population density of the crop in the farmer's field. These are some of the other photographs of comparison between organic module as well as farmer's practice. In case of farmer's practice, crops were found to be infected with number of diseases, but in case of organic module, plants were found to be very healthy. We have not seen any infestation of even early blight as well. So please try to remember the harvesting should be done 10 to 15 days after haulm cutting. So in case of early maturing variety, the farmers, they used to get around 20 to 30 ton per hectare. In case of late maturing variety, farmers, they used to harvest around 30 to 40 ton per hectare. But after harvesting of potato tubers, if our farmers, they want to store it in the storages, so before sending the tuber to the storage, it should be treated with 3% solution of boric acid. The seed tuber can be treated by spraying the boric acid solution or dipping the tuber in the solution. The tuber which were treated should be air dried or the shade dried, and then we have to proceed for packing in the aerated bay, and then we should proceed for transportation to the storages. Many a times, to protect from the storage pest like potato tuber moth in the stores, at least 2 to 3 centimeter layer of the chopped and dried leaves of shoots of Lantana camera or eucalyptus species should be baked, and it should be covered. It should be used to cover the layers of the potato. And even we can put, that is install potato tuber moth sex pheromone trap at the rate of 4 trap per 100 cubic meter in the. So my friends, with this I conclude my presentations. I hope you like this presentation. So if so, please see my next video.